Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And remember, we're all trying to get ready to party at the Pulse Music Festival. This event, I should say, is not really taking place. We're just using this as an example because... let's see, who were the people there? Kevin and Melissa. They were talking about hosting the Summer Music Festival, and they were making all the arrangements and talking about who they were supposed to contact to take care of vending and ticket sales and stuff like that and setting up a website. But today we're actually going to talk about the festival itself. They've come up with some kind of OM, I guess it's called, some kind of a flyer or some kind of advertisement that will go on the internet so people can learn more about this fictitious festival, and maybe it will get them interested in going to it, buying tickets and making arrangements and staying overnight with friends and having the time of your life. So have you ever been to a big music festival before, Stephanie?
Yeah, but it was classical. It was in Boston in the summer, and it was wonderful. But yeah, you have to make plans. People are coming sometimes from a long ways away, or at least from a different city, and maybe they want to spend the night there. And yeah, if you don't plan early, you may not get a hotel room or a place to stay. You know, our author really fooled me, Tom. I thought this was a real music festival. So I looked it up online and I couldn't find it, and I thought, oh, they made it up. So it sounds like a fun thing to go and hear. We're going to start, guys, by having Tom read through this lesson.
Taiwan Pulse World Music Festival, Sunday, June 12, 2022. Métis Riverside Park, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Introduction. Are you ready for the Taiwan Pulse World Music Festival? This year, our show will feature 6 incredible acts from every corner of the globe. We have 2 stages, so you can wander the grounds freely and listen to whatever music moves you the most. Lineup. Sunrise Stage, Ravi Gupta, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Ravi is one of India's most accomplished classical musicians. His magical sitar compositions will take your soul on an unforgettable journey. Java Gamelan Orchestra, 3:45 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. The Java Gamelan Orchestra has traveled all the way from Java to introduce you to traditional Indonesian music. Fernandez 3, 4:55 p.m. to 5:55 p.m. In recent years, this classical guitar trio from Spain has won the hearts of millions of fans with incredible finger-picking skills. Sunset Stage, Bebop Forever, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Bebop Forever is a European jazz quartet that brings a fresh take on popular jazz tunes from the 1950s. Chang Samui, 4:10 p.m. to 5:50 p.m. Chang Samui blends beautiful Thai melodies with funk rhythms that are sure to get crowds dancing. Question marks, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The identity of our headline act will remain a mystery for now, but rest assured, you'll know all of the hits recorded by this legendary pop group. Transportation. We're just a 15-minute walk from Shihu MRT station. Vendors. Our special international food court features a wide selection of foods and beverages from around the world. Ticket packages. 1 ticket, 1,000 NT dollars. 2 tickets, 1,900 NT dollars. 4 tickets, 3,600 NT dollars.
Okay, guys, let's get going here. I wanted to take a look at the title of the music festival first. It's got a word in there that you might not be familiar with, and that's pulse. Pulse is that rhythmic movement or throbbing of the arteries as blood is being pushed or pumped through them. So if you hold your wrist or put your fingers up to your neck where you've got an artery, you can actually feel that boom, boom, boom. It's your heart beating, and we call that a pulse. Is your pulse too fast? Is your pulse too slow? If it's too fast or slow, you probably should go see a doctor. But this is the Pulse Music Festival. They're probably talking about a nice beat that is going to be there throughout the festival. And we all like rhythm and beat. I love rhythm. I love to move. And this is at a place called the Métis Riverside Park, and it's being held Sunday, June 12th, 2022.
Okay, so there you have some basic information, the name of the festival, the dates, the location, etc., etc. And here is the introduction to the festival. Are you ready for the Taiwan Pulse World Music Festival? We begin this with a question here. Are you ready? Because it's going to be very exciting. This year, our show will feature 6 incredible acts from every corner of the globe, which means these 6 bands, these 6 acts, will come from all over the world. They're not just going to be coming from here in Taiwan, although there's plenty of good music here, but hey, it's kind of fun when we bring in bands from overseas. You can see how things are done in different countries. And it goes on to say we have 2 stages, so you can wander the grounds freely and listen to whatever music moves you the most. So if you're listening to one band and you think, well, this is good, I like it, but I'd like to hear what else is being played or what else is being performed on the other stage, so you can wander freely. To wander just means to walk anywhere you want to go, usually by walking. I suppose you could wander on a bicycle or in a car or something like that, but most of the times you're just kind of walking around. When you travel, you get someplace, and then you just kind of wander around the city and see what you can see.
Notice we're using the word grounds and not ground. The grounds are the area around buildings, around some facilities. They're included in that particular venue, the grounds. They're going to take good care of the grounds. You might hear that on TV shows if you've got someone who is taking care of maybe the Queen's Gardens or maybe a beautiful museum's gardens. They're taking care of the grounds there. Notice it's plural. You have to have that plural. So yeah, they can go and hear maybe a group on the sunrise stage, or they can move along and go to the sunset stage, depending on what they like. And it says here, listen to whatever music moves you the most. If something moves you, it makes you feel feelings. It makes you feel something. Maybe it makes you feel happy, excited, maybe sad. Maybe it reminds you of some things. So music can move you. So depends on what you like. So here are the lineups. Sunrise stage. We start with who, Tom?
Well, we're talking about the sunrise stage. So first of all, we've got Ravi Gupta, who is performing from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. So this person is going to be performing for 1.5 hours. Ravi is one of India's most accomplished classical musicians. So that's his name here, Ravi Gupta. Again, we're making these names up for the sake of this lesson. I did go online and looked up Ravi Gupta, and it turns out there is somebody who has a name similar to that, who is some kind of professor someplace, certainly not a musician, and certainly not a sitar player, although he might play the sitar in his in his free time, I should say. But I don't think that's the person who's going to perform at this concert here, but we're saying that he is an accomplished classical musician. If you're accomplished, that means you've been training for many, many years, and you're a virtuoso. You're really good at your instrument, and you never miss a note. You play it perfectly.
Well, you hope to. If you're playing live, everyone makes mistakes. You hope that doesn't happen, but if you're a performer, you know it happens, and you just try to move on. See, if you're a professional and you make a mistake or someone makes a mistake, you have to pretend that nothing happened. So that's the big difference between a professional and an amateur. Usually if an amateur makes a mistake, you can tell on their face, right? But one of the things you have to do professionally is just go on with the show.
The show must go on.
That's right. So this person's accomplished. They're very skillful. They're very good. If you're accomplished, good for you. It means you've practiced a lot, because you just don't wake up one day and you're able to play, all of these instruments that take a lot of time, a lot of sweat, tears, hours of rehearsal and practice. So he's an accomplished classical musician. As Tom said, he plays a sitar, and he plays his magical sitar compositions, which means he's a composer. A composition is a piece of writing. It could be something you write that comes from your head, your heart, or it could be music. Maybe you're a composer of music or a music composer. He is, and so he's going to play his original compositions. And it says here, they will take your soul on an unforgettable journey. Who do we have next, Tom?
Okay, we're getting some music from Indonesia, Java Gamelan, okay? That's the kind of orchestra in Indonesia, especially from the island of Java, where they have those metal xylophones, and they play flutes, and they play drums and stuff like that. If any of you have ever traveled to Bali, for example, you probably got to see some performances with a gamelan orchestra.
You probably heard them. You went to Bali.
Yeah, late in the 90s, a long time ago. Haven't had a chance to go back again. But in any case, yes, it's interesting music, and I've heard some people say that it's the most complicated music there is in terms of structures and stuff like that. And yes, it was very different to my Western-trained ears. But the Java Gamelan Orchestra has traveled all the way from Java to introduce you to traditional Indonesian music. And as you know, Indonesia is a very large country with lots of islands, and Jakarta is the largest and capital city, which is on the island of Java. And of course, Bali is another island. There are other islands as well, Lombok and stuff like that. But in any case, this particular orchestra is probably from Java itself.
The next group, of course, is Fernandez 3. Which is a kind of a cute name for a trio. A trio is a group of 3 people who perform or play together. In recent years, this classical guitar trio from Spain has won the hearts of millions of fans with incredible finger-picking skills. If you play the guitar, you might use your fingers to pluck or pick the strings, or you might use a guitar pick, which is a tiny little object that you hold between your thumb and your finger, and you use that to pluck or pick the strings rather than your fingers. I prefer finger plucking or finger picking rather than the pick. It's a different sound. It's warmer. But that sounds like something that I would want to go in here. I love guitar. I love acoustic guitar. There's also electric guitar, of course, where you plug yourself in to an amplifier. Most bands are electric guitars. I love acoustic. So we are moving on to the next stage. It's the sunset stage. We've got Bebop Forever. Bebop Forever is a European jazz quartet. A quartet is made up of 4 people who perform together. And it says, this jazz quartet brings a fresh take on popular jazz tunes from the 1950s. Bebop music is music from the 1950s. There's actually a dance that was called the bop, and they jump up and down. It's kind of fun to watch them dance to it. You need to be very athletic. The dancing they did in the 50s was sure cute, so you might want to check into that, especially if you like jazz.
And a quartet, of course, is a band of 4 musicians. They probably have a drummer, a pianist, a bass player, and a saxophonist. So that's a jazz quartet. And they're playing songs you may have heard, but they're kind of oldies but goodies. Now, moving on, we've got Chang Samui, which takes place from 4:10 p.m. to 5:50 p.m. So that, again, is about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes. And Chang Samui blends beautiful Thai melodies with funk rhythms that are sure to get crowds dancing. So I think our writer here kind of made up this name based on Chiang Mai, which is a popular tourist destination in northern Thailand, and Koh Samui, which is a popular tourist destination in southern Thailand. It's an island there, so an island. So I think our writer here just kind of made this name up based on some place names in Thailand, and this particular band blends beautiful Thai melodies with funk rhythms. So, of course, traditional Thai music is very different from funk music, but the blend here would be kind of interesting. It would be a blend of styles here, so it's probably going to be very interesting. And because of those funk rhythms, because of that beat, because of that pulse, then the crowds will get dancing. They'll want to stand up and start dancing to that funky music. Play that funky music.
Funk itself is a type of popular music, and it has a really strong beat, as Tom said, and it combines traditional forms of African American music like blues, gospel, or soul. When I hear the word funk, though, I automatically think of a really great bass guitarist. And it has a really strong sound, a really strong beat. I love that. So that should be a fun one to go listen to, where they've combined or blend Thai melodies with funk rhythms. And if you like to dance, this might be a group you want to go and hear. Now, our last performer, or our last act, is a mystery. So we've got some question marks there. It says here, the identity of our headline act will remain a mystery for now. Now, if you're a headline act, it means you're the most popular act that was invited to perform. You're the one that everyone's really coming to hear. So you know that we use headline to talk about the major stories in newspapers, right? Or on TV news. Our headlines today are, and they'll start telling you the most important stories. Well, a headline act or a headliner. We also will use that kind of an adjective. We use it as a verb too. He's headlining the concert. So if you're headlining the concert, you're the main attraction. They might have a couple of bands before you that are not so famous, but that's how you get your start, right? So the headline act, we don't know who it is. It's going to remain a mystery for now.
Okay, so they don't know who the headline act is, or they do know, but they want to keep it a surprise because remember, a surprise is something that you do not expect. So when you finally find out, it makes you really excited. Oh, wow, they're coming to play. Wonderful. So I guess they probably have identified the band that is going to play, but they're going to keep it a secret. And here it says, but rest assured. If you're rest assured, that means you can relax. You don't need to worry because it's going to be a really wonderful performer. You'll know all of its hits, or the hits recorded by this legendary pop group. So when you find out who it is, when someone spreads a rumor that this band is playing, you'll know, oh, I know all their songs. I can't wait because this is a legendary pop group. Pop here just means they play popular music, and they're legendary, which means they've been known for quite some time, and they have a long history. And again, I don't think it's going to be the Beatles because half of them are dead, and the Rolling Stones just lost their drummer. So I'm not sure who's going to come and play there, but in any case, it's a very famous band that's been around for a long time.
Legendary, yeah. You can expect somebody that's very famous or well-known. A legendary person doesn't have to be dead. They could still be alive. You could talk about Michael Jordan still being a legendary basketball player from a couple of decades ago now. It's been a while. So transportation, guys, we've got a little section here where they help people figure out how to get there. They say we're just a 15-minute walk from the Shihu MRT station. So transportation is a process of moving people and things from one place to another, but it also is a way of traveling from one place to another. We would say I was left without transportation when my car broke down. But if you are learning British English, you would not use transportation. You would use transport. They love that word transport much more than we do in America. So get used to using both of them. If you were saying British English, you would say I was left without transport when my car broke down. So it's pretty close to an MRT station, which is great news for people who want to take public transportation or public transport. Vendors. We've got some vendors that are being asked to provide food, a wide selection of food, and beverages from around the world. Ooh, you can try drinks from all around the world. A beverage is a drinkable liquid, and it is countable, so you can say beverages.
So maybe you'll be able to try drinks from Indonesia, India, and Thailand, and from other countries as well.
Cool.
And here are the ticket packages or the ticket prices. One ticket is 1,000 NT dollars, but if you buy two, you get a little bit of a discount. And if you buy four, then you get an even bigger discount. So go with your friends and save some money and have the time of your life. Okay, that brings us to the end of our discussion about today's lesson. We're going to listen now to our Chinese teacher, but we'll be right back with some discussion questions.
Hello everyone, 我是派老师。 今天讲解的是4月份 Unit4 第2天的课程。那内容呢是延续前一天的课程，同样都是多益单元。我们前一天看到一段对话，主题和音乐节的筹办有关。在绘画里面，他们讨论了节目怎么安排 ，the lineup of programs， 转账支付、场定金 ，wire a deposit for the venue， 搭建舞台 ，set up 2 stages， 售票 ，put the tickets up for sale， 提供优惠方案 ，offer discount packages 等等。在最后也讨论到要增加网页宣传活动。而在第2天课程内容，我们可以看到这2位公司的人员，他们就在网站上的活动宣传网页上做了一些讨论。那这是他们活动宣传网页的实际内容。好，我们一起来看看网页宣传当中的英文学习重点。首先，请同学注意到，在最刚开始有一个 introduction 这个地方。Are you ready for the Taiwan Pulse World Music Festival？ 这个音乐节的名称呢，就叫做台湾脉动世界音乐节。接下来第2个句子 ，This year, our show will feature 6 incredible acts from every corner of the globe。好，请同学特别注意到 feature 这个字 ，feature 在这个句子当中是动词。并不是名词，特征、特色的意思。当作动词的时候呢，我们可以说就是以后面所接的这个名词呢，当作卖点或者作为特色。意思就是在今年呢，我们的音乐节的活动会以6个非常不一样的演出来当作卖点，而且呢，这6个不同的节目是来自世界各地的艺术家所呈现的表演。我们看到后面来自世界各地 from every corner of the globe。 好，接下来再请同学看到下一句 We have 2 stages， 我们有搭建了2个舞台 So you can wander the grounds freely。 请同学把这个 wander the grounds freely 画起来，意思就是随意晃晃。再来，我们请同学看到整个音乐节的节目表，因为分成了2个舞台，一个舞台是 Sunrise Stage， 另外一个是 Sunset Stage。 那为了我们同学在听讲解的时候不会搞混，所以呢，我们就先看到 Sunrise Stage， 就是左边这一栏。那这里呢，总共有3个节目，那也有3个表演团体。首先呢，第一个团体的Ravi Gupta 这边，那请同学呢特别注意到这里有一个句子 His magical sitar compositions will take your soul on an unforgettable journey。 好，这句话的意思呢，就是他的表演会让你的心灵有非常不一样的享受感受。好，再来我们看到下面第3个艺术家 Fernandez 3这边。那 In recent years, this classical guitar trio from Spain has won the hearts of millions of fans with incredible finger-picking skills。 请同学特别注意到这里 In recent years， 同学记得通常呢，我们看到 recent 或者说 recently 的时候，后面的句子是要用现在完成式的，所以这个古典吉他的3人组合，他们已经虏获了很多人的心 They have won the hearts of millions of fans。 好，再来我们看到 Sunset Stage 右边这一栏，请同学看到Bebop Forever 这边，后面呢讲到关系子句 That brings a fresh take on popular jazz tunes from the 1950s。 这个句子的意思是为西元1950年代的流行爵士乐曲带来了全新诠释，所以 a fresh take on popular jazz tunes from the 1950s， 这里的 take 当作名词使用，意思是指对某样东西的看法，还有呢诠释。再来，请同学看到第2个表演团体 Chang Samui。Chang Samui blends beautiful Thai melodies with funk rhythms that are sure to get crowds dancing。 好，请同学特别注意到这里呢，这个 blend A with B 就是把 A 跟 B 融合在一起。好的，那再请同学看到下面讲到这个摊贩的这边 vendors 这里。Our special international food court features a wide selection of foods and beverages. 好，请同学特别注意到这里的 a wide selection of foods and beverages， 意思就是在这边的摊贩呢，选择很多，他们所提供的食物很多元，所以我们说 a wide selection of foods and beverages。好，以上就是我们针对多益课程第2天的讲解，谢谢大家。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. It's our discussion time. Here's our first question, Tom, for you. What is your favorite style of music?
Well, it kind of varies. Right now, I'm really into trip hop. I don't know if you've heard that before. It's
I have not.
It's kind of like hip hop, but it's instrumental. It's minus the vocals. Although I do like hip hop itself, the lyrics can be quite difficult to follow sometimes. But yeah, I like hip hop, trip hop, drum and bass, those kinds of music. And also, I like exotica from the 50s and 60s. That's a completely different kind of music.
I don't know that either.
And I could go on about other kinds of music that I like, but we don't have time today to discuss that. But let me turn this question to you. What is your favorite style of music?
I would say that Tom has eclectic tastes in music. Generally, he likes things that aren't always well known, but he's always looking into new things. He's an adventurer, I would say. Mine, I love soundtracks. Music that's written for films. I love soundtracks. I don't know why. I have a lot of soundtracks at home. I also love theater music, of course, because I used to do that. Classical music. But when I was growing up, before I learned that I could sing and play the piano, I liked pop music.
Okay.
So the top 40... I would always be listening to the radio, singing along, because I wanted to be a pop singer. I figured out later on that I actually can sing classical music very easily. I was born with it. So I started learning that as I got older. But wow, there are lots of good types of music out there.
There certainly are. And here's our next question. What foreign dish do you enjoy the most? What kind of foreign food do you like? Can you describe how it tastes?
I will... because I love Taiwanese food a lot, but I will pick a Mexican food dish called enchiladas, made with corn tortillas, which you can buy here in Taiwan. And it's got some meat in it. It's got a green sauce. I like green sauce better than red sauce. It's spicy. I like guacamole, and I like sour cream, which is kind of an American addition to Mexican food. What about you, Tom?
Well, since this music festival has a performer from India, I'm expecting Indian food to be there. I just love Indian food.
I love it too.
The naan bread and the curries and the vegetables and all that fun stuff. And there's also a Thai performer there, so I'm looking forward to having some pad Thai or Thai noodles, and
Those
they
are
taste
good.
pretty cool. It's kind of a mixture of sweet and sour, and it's very tasty. I'm sure most of you have tried it before. Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Have fun at the music festival if you can find one. Remember, ours is just made up for fun, but hey, you can find plenty of other music festivals out there to enjoy. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
See ya.